I'm Simone from Brazil, and today we will talk about the foreign trade scenario in Italy and perspectives for 2022. The crisis we are still experiencing caused by the coronavirus pandemic continues to impact global trade. Several activities were stopped, especially in Asia, Europe, and United States. In addition, the blockade and suspension of operation in some countries made the activities of foreign trades even more compromised. Today, let's talk about the scenario in Italy and what we can expect for 2022. To talk to us about this matter, I'm honored to welcome Maurizio Briglia, President of Combi Line International. Thank you for joining us today, Maurizio. It's an honor to have you here.
Thank you to you, and thank you to all the audience attending this webinar. I'm proud, of participating to this discussion, and I will be pleased, to explain about the status of the markets and the trade, between Italy and Brazil.
Great. Maurizio, today is your first participation in Logistica Plus. Please, could you explain to us how Combi Line International works in Italy? Our audience wants to know a little bit more about you.
Yes, of course. Combi Line was born in 2003, following a long experience in the same logistic field in which we are working. We decided to open up several branch offices in Italy and not only work with one single office. In fact, today, Combi Line is having offices in Milan, Genoa, Venice, Livorno, and Naples, providing a full coverage of the country. And we can handle LCL business, full container loads, air freight, both outbound and inbound, with a total staff of about 100 people between operations, sales, administration, and we have very good connections with all the Italian ports and airports, and trucking companies, distribution, warehouses. So we believe of providing a dependable and timely service to our customers and our overseas agents like you are.
And to help our audience understand the scenario, I would like to briefly explain what were the main impacts related to international logistics that Italy has suffered in recent months.
We had last year consequences of the lockdown due to the COVID-19 pandemic. We had in reality, 2-3 months, of slow traffic, slow trades, both outbound and inbound. But to be very realistic, we did not stop, of the commerces. We have always moved cargo and out and inbound, not at the normal levels, but we had our staff always employed and working and active from the office or from home in order, to reduce the risk of spread, of the virus. So we have overcome, the 2020 top crisis, because of the COVID, and we have seen a steady recovery of traffics in the second half of 2020. In 2021, instead, we have experienced a very quick recovery of the trades, and today, you can also, witness we are assisting, at a very strong demand, from the market. both ways, export and imports. And Italy is having probably, according to the news, one of the quickest recoveries in Europe. So we are facing a positive, return, to business. All companies in the logistic field are very busy, even more than they can afford. And we are, of course, facing the problem of spaces on the ships, spaces on the aircrafts.
A lot.
So we wanted to be happy, because of the good recovery of the trades, but we are at the same time suffering, because we cannot perform, as we would like, with customers.
As we expected, yeah.
So the situation is on one side, good. The COVID-19 is relatively under control because Italy has been the biggest share of vaccinated in Europe. And so COVID is, again, I mentioned relatively, you cannot say 100%, but relatively under control. And we are not suffering, from consequences of the pandemic like last year. We are experiencing again, a very good boom, of the exports and imports, and facing the usual problem that everybody in the world today is facing because of lack of space on the carriers, whether they are sea freight or air freight.
Yeah. And during the peak season, how to deal with the high demand, especially for those who want to import or export to Italy?
Well, they say that the number one problem today is the space on the ships and the ocean freights, which are increasing with a very short notice. We do not see. Yeah.
Some carriers suddenly.
I cannot tell you of any other warnings, that you have to consider, because the Italian ports and airports are open. People are working normally. We do not have a shortage of facilities or lack of personnel. As long as ships, can accept containers and we can work out, any traffic, any shipment without any problem, both ways, both ways. We sometimes may have a delay in shipping out the cargo because that particular vessel is delaying or fully booked, but we have not experienced really important delays in the link between Italy and Brazil, and also Brazil-Italy. We do not have experience of major problems in this trade lane.
Okay. And how is the value of international freight in this scenario?
Well, yeah, we have had some increases on the rates between Italy and Brazil, especially, but nothing compared to what is happening in the relation between Asia and Europe. So it is nothing. The adjustments and increases in the trade between Italy and Brazil and vice versa has nothing to do with what is happening between Asia and Europe, where prices have gone up, 7-8 times, and today it's really, really critical to move cargo from China and Asia to Europe, to Italy, and you don't know what will happen in 15 days.
The same we face from China to Brazil.
I'm sure you know what I mean, and but between Italy and Brazil, I think the situation is rather stable. So I would reassure customers that in this moment, there is no harm, on space and freight rates between our two countries.
Great. And in your opinion, what companies should pay attention to when planning cargo shipment during this period? Any types or guidance?
From Brazil to Italy or vice versa?
From Italy to Brazil.
Oh, well, there is certainly in this very chaotic moment of logistic anticipation is anticipating information, anticipating documents is the answer, to reduce delays. But I also would suggest to anticipate orders, to importers, to Brazilian importers, and to give a longer delivery time to final customers, because today we are facing a chaotic logistic world where last year is not normal anymore. You cannot rely, on the usual transit times, the usual shipping lines, and so I would certainly suggest to expect longer delivery times, for goods, not, as long as the ones, from Asia to Europe, as I was saying before, but for sure, it is a delicate moment where guaranteed deliveries, are no longer possible. However, I can tell you that as far as the Italian territory is concerned, we have full control on the Italian operations. So we can only face delays, because of lack of departures of the vessel, or lack of departure of the aircraft. But as far as the Italian boundaries, we can move the cargo without any problem.
Great. And finally, would you like to tell us what are the commercial perspectives for 2022 between Brazil and Italy?
Well, yeah, it's looking at the current situation, which was unexpected, until 6 months ago, I can only expect 2022 to continue, the trend that we are today living. Such a general situation of the market is not finishing, in 2 or 3 months. I do not expect this. I expect that the restriction that 2020 has forced, a lot of companies, in Italy and abroad, are now having the result, the feedback, are having the say an explosion, of trade, and I believe that this will last also during 2022. The forecasts of the Italian government about 2022 are also positive. So I really expect, next year that the trade exchange between Italy and Brazil will continue, in the good pace.
Nice, very nice. Maurizio, thank you for sharing so much information, important information with us. I'm sure they will help many professionals and companies.
Well, thank you to you for giving us this opportunity to express our point of view, on the trade between Italy and Brazil. We really look forward, to continue, this cooperation in these positive moments of the markets. And I hope that my forecasts and the forecast of the Italian government will be confirmed also for next year.
Hope so.
I wish all the best, to you and to all the audience looking at and listening, at this webinar. And I hope really, to continue, this nice cooperation with your country.
Oh, thank you so much. Follow our channels, LinkedIn, YouTube, is Spotify and Instagram. And then you can always find information to make good use. Thank you for the audience and see you next time.